All right, today we're going to introduce the unit on exponentials. So we're going to talk specifically about exponential growth and decay today. Your learning objective is to kind of differentiate between these two graphs, what gives this one an upward curve and what gives the decay graph that downward curve. So I want to take you back to, when you first learned about lines. So when you first learned what a line is, you realized that it had a couple components. So like if we looked at y equals mx plus b form, you know that the m, stands for slope and the b stands for the y-intercept. And based off of these two components, that combination of that slope and that y-intercept make your line either have, an upward slope or an arrow pointing up, a downward or a negative, a zero slope, a flat line, or an undefined slope going up and down. So exponentials have similar type of properties that are going to, tell you what the shape of the graph, the general shape of the graph looks like. And then just like in lines where you can plug in any xy coordinate, into this line, an infinite set of xy coordinates, you can do the same in exponentials. So then as we look at, quadratics, as we started to look at quadratics this year, we noticed that there was like some exponents in the picture now. So now, x was still a function of y. We had different components, just like how we did with linear equations. We have the c, which is the y-intercept. We have the leading coefficient a. The degree was always 2. And these components told us whether our, a graph was facing up or facing down, or an up, left, up, right, or down, left, down, right. And we also noticed that we started to have like more curvature to our graph. So it was no longer just a straight line, it was also curved. So, the difference between the exponential and the, quadratic and linear graph, it still has, variable in the, it has a variable in the exponent. So that's like the main difference is having this variable here. So we're raising some number to the power of x. But those components that tell us the shape of the graph, those are still there. They're just in different locations. So you'll notice that like we've already labeled for you guys that, your y-intercept is actually that a value, that number in front. And then we also call it, this b value, the base. We can also call it the common ratio or the growth or decay rate, depending on what context we're talking about an exponential function in. But just like with linear, just like with quadratic equations, just like with higher degree polynomial, an exponential function, this is kind of like our standard form, or a form that tells us the different components of this exponential graph, so we kind of know what direction it's facing. All right, so as we get to our first example, we're going to do this example just like we've done every other example of every other function in our class. So we're going to take, a couple x coordinates, which in this case we're going to take -1, 0, and 1, and we're going to plug them into our equation and we're going to get out some y coordinates. So we're going to see what this graph looks like, okay? But you should realize that, if our standard form of this equation is y is equal to a times b raised to the x, hopefully we see in this equation that we have that, our a value is 1. So this a value here, our y-intercept is 1, okay? And I'll kind of show you that a little bit more as we go through, solving for this. All right, so let's plug in some values for x. So let's have y is equal to 2 raised to the negative first power. Well, when you raise anything to the negative power, it flips. So this just becomes 1 over 2. So when I evaluate this equation at 2, I end up getting, at -1, I end up getting 1/2, okay? I can also evaluate this at 0. So y is equal to 2 raised to the 0. Anything being raised to the 0th power is 1, okay? So I've got 2 points now. I've got -1, 1/2, and 0, 1. And that kind of makes sense because before I said that my a value was 1 for this equation. So my y-intercept is 1. Okay, now let's evaluate this at 1, so 2 to the first is equal to, 2. And now we have 3 points. We can kind of see the general shape of our graph. So let's go graph these points. So I've got -1, 1/2, so graph that, 0, 1, 1, 2, okay? So you can kind of start to see our graph form. Let's take a couple higher points than 1, though, just to kind of see the general shape of this graph. Let's take 2 and 3. So if we have y is equal to 2 raised to the second, we'd end up with 4, right? So we'd have 2, 4. And if I take y is equal to 2 raised to the third, I end up with 2 times 2, which is 8. So I've got 3 comma 8. And you can kind of see your graph getting, vertical quickly. Quicker than it did when we had a quadratic, and definitely quicker than, a linear equation. But then I also want you to notice over here to the left, you'll notice that I'm kind of drawing my curve, but I'm not actually touching this x-axis. I'm going through these points, but I'm actually drawing this x-axis. So it's kind of like similar to our rational equation where we didn't have any values defined at that y is equal to 0 line. So it's kind of like that. So if you take all the negative values, let's do y is equal to 2 raised to the negative 2. Well, that's going to be 1/4. And then if we keep going like this, 2 to the negative 3, we end up with 1/8. So you'd end up having all these really tiny fractions at all these points. But it never actually would, end up hitting that y is equal to 0 line. So if you're guessing, if we have a horizontal asymptote, we do. We've got a horizontal asymptote at y is equal to 0. All right, so let's do another one. So guys, the things I want you to notice, just based off of that last graph, is that we're going to have some similar components. So our graph is going to, have a y-intercept. I think we're going to have, a y-intercept of 1 or an a value of 1, and then a growth rate or in this case, we call it the common ratio of 3. Okay, so you can kind of already guess what this curve is going to look like. We're going to have a y-intercept at 0, 1, and we're going to be growing. So that means our graph's going to look something like this. Okay. Now I'm going to go graph some of these points, or I'm going to find some of these points to be accurate with this, but we can kind of already tell what this graph's going to look like just based off of, this growth that's happening, this exponential growth, and also, that asymptote we know that's there, and also the y-intercept. But let's evaluate nonetheless. So let's plug in my x points to find my y. So I've got y is equal to 3 to the negative first. So this is going to give me 1/3. Okay, so I've got a point at -1, 1/3, so I can kind of graph that there. Kind of already was. And then I've got y is equal to 3 to the 0. Well, that's going to be my y-intercept of 1. And then I'm going to have y is equal to 3 to the first, which is going to be 1, 3. So that means I kind of have this point at 1, 3. So this one wasn't as accurate as I would have wanted. So let's kind of erase some of these points. All right, let's draw that curve through. And remember, we do have that asymptote at y is equal to 0. So notice how I'm drawing that dotted line on that x-axis. We have that asymptote at y is equal to 0. And then my curve is going to go really close to that asymptote, but not actually touch it. And it's going to go up through these points and then on forever upwards. Okay, so notice the growth, notice the asymptote, and notice that you're not surpassing that y is equal to 0 line. All right, so all these graphs, two graphs we've just talked about, they're both growth graphs. As the x values get larger, the y values are also getting larger, infinitely so, okay? The graph it always passes through that point 0, 1. The domain is all real numbers. The range is 0 to infinity. It's an increasing graph, and it's got that horizontal asymptote of y is equal to 0. So these are all these properties of these growth graphs. So next we're going to check out, something called the decay graph. So we've got y is equal to 1/2 x. And I just want you off the bat to notice that, hey, this is in y is equal to a times b raised to the x form. So yeah, we are going to have, a y-intercept of 1 again. So our a value is still 1 for this. So if we have y is equal to 1/2 raised to the x, my a value is 1, and my common ratio is 1/2. Okay, so this still has some of the components the last graph did. It's also going to still have an asymptote at y is equal to 0. We'll show you why. But the main thing I want you to notice is what this common ratio being a fraction does to my graph. Okay, so let's kind of evaluate this at x comma y. So I'm going to have y is equal to 1/2. Let's raise it to the negative first power. When anything being raised to a negative power flips the fraction. So this is really, 2. Okay, so if I evaluate this at -1, I get a y value of 2. If I evaluate this at 0, I end up getting that y-intercept of 1. If I evaluate this at 1, I end up getting that value of 1/2. okay? So let's go graph these points. I'm going to go graph -1, 2, okay, 0, 1, and then 1, 1/2, okay? So there's my 3 points on there. Let's graph a few more. Let's graph some more negative values. Let's graph -3, okay? So let's go graph -3. So y is equal to 1/2 being raised to the -3rd power. Well, the negative's going to flip my fraction, okay? But then I also have to raise that fraction to the 3rd power. So this becomes 1 over 2 to the 3rd, and then I got to make sure to flip the fraction. So really, it's going to be just a +8. So if I evaluate this graph at -3, I end up getting a +8. So you can kind of see that your graph -3, 8. You can kind of see how your graph is forming. It's going infinitely up and to the left, and then curving down and getting really, 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 really close to that horizontal asymptote. Okay. And remember that asymptote, it is there. So we have an asymptote of y is equal to 0 that still hasn't changed. Okay. But notice the kind of the difference between that y is equal to 2 raised to the x graph. I'm going to do that in green. So this was our y is equal to 2 raised to the x graph. Kind of looks something like this, right? So it's kind of almost like a horizontal flip in some ways. Let's do one more. So let's raise y is equal to 1/3 to the x, kind of with our x comma y point. So x comma y, let's raise y is equal to 1/3 to the -1st power. That's going to be a +3. Let's raise it to the 0th power, which is going to be a 1. Let's raise it to the 1st power, which is going to be a 1/3. So you can kind of see this graph forming based off of these 3 points. And just your knowledge now on the different components of a exponential graph, 1, 1/3, we know that we've got a horizontal asymptote of y is equal to 0, and this graph goes infinitely up and to the left and also kind of curves down, gets really close to that asymptote but doesn't actually touch it. Okay, so this is kind of that y is equal to 1/3 raised to the x graph, and I can kind of graph y is equal to 3 raised to the x. So this would be in yellow here. You can kind of see it's almost like a horizontal reflection. So these decay graphs, they've got some of the same properties that our growth graphs have. They're just kind of flipped. They do still pass through that point 0, 1. The domain is still all real numbers. The range is 0 to infinity. It's a decreasing graph instead of increasing, but we still have that horizontal asymptote of y is equal to 0. The main thing I want you to take from today is that if your b value is bigger than 1, so if it's 1.1 or 1.0001, anything bigger than 1, your graph's going to be growing, kind of as you see to the left-hand side here, okay? If your b value is between 0 and 1, your graph's going to be a decay graph, or it's going to be getting infinitely close to that y is equal to 0 line to the right, exponentially increasing to the left. And that is our introduction lesson on exponentials.